William Wallace puts it this way. He says, every man dies, but not every man really lives. Something like that. With a better Scottish brogue than that. I'll leave that to the actors. But the people that we aspire to be like, guess what? They're people who have ended up somewhere on purpose. My dad is 87 years old, and I want to tell you something. He is in better shape than I am. I kid you not. Last time he was here, when he was 86, he was up on our roof sawing down a tree with a chainsaw. And I'm there hanging on to him going, oh God, don't let us die! My dad's just really kind of incredible a person that way. And my dad's a simple man, but you know what? My dad's very set for life. Us kids will never have to worry about them financially. He's very good financial condition. He was a truck driver his whole life. Never made more than $33,000 a year. But again, very comfortable. My dad had a motto in life. He used to say, you got to plan your plan and work your plan. He used to say that to us kids all the time. It drove us nuts. Son, you got to plan your plan and you got to work your plan. But you know what? My dad is a smart guy because he planned his plan and he worked his plan. And you know what? At 87 years old, he ended up somewhere on purpose. And I respect him greatly today. Let me ask you a few questions as we start. 5 years from now, how many of you here today would love to be more in love with God, listening to His voice, reading His Word, having great fellowship with Him, and just overall glorifying God more in your life today than ever before? Should be everybody lifting your hands, okay? You put your hands down. How many of you 5 years from now would love to have better relationships with your spouse and with your kids? Man, hands are up fast there. With your spouse and with your kids and friends. You know, relationships that are more meaningful. Relationships that are more intimate and stronger today. I think we all would. How many of you would like to be debt-free 5 years from now? Woo! I'm all over that one. You know, I'll tell you what. Dave Ramsey's made a believer out of me. If you haven't come for our FPU classes, you need to check them out. If you're not in them this time, you need to join next time, because I'm going to tell you something. They are so inspiring. Just think of what it would be 5 years from now to not have any credit card debt, you know, any car payment, no outstanding hospital bills, and to even have your house paid off. Wouldn't that be awesome? How great would it be 5 years from now if the biggest financial problem that we faced is, what do I do with this excess money that I have? You know, if any of you are in that situation today, I want to talk to you after the service. I've got an investment for you. How many of you 5 years from now would like to be in the best shape of your life? You know what I'm talking about? To where when you are invited to a pool party, you actually go. or if you're like me, you go ahead and take off your sweatsuit when you're there. Sometimes I go, but I'm fully dressed, you know. How many would like those things to happen in your life? See, all of us would like those things to happen. Well, let me just let you in on a little secret. None of these things that I've just mentioned will happen by accident. None of these things, I can guarantee you, none of these things will just automatically happen. And here's why. Everybody ends up, I'll come over here, everybody ends up somewhere. But few people, whoops, okay. So much for that planning. Few people end up somewhere on purpose. Right? Say that with me one more time. Everybody ends up somewhere, but few people end up somewhere on purpose. Well, I want you to know, I do know the name of this series, and I'm excited about this series, and I believe that God has some real important things to say to us through this series. Our goal over the next few weeks is together to seek the heart of God and His plan for our life and end up somewhere on purpose. Our key verse for this series is, where there is no vision, the people perish. Let's say that together. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Now think about that and kind of press it down into your life. In other words, let's just talk about where the rubber meets the road. Where there is no vision for a godly family, 1 in 2 marriages end up in divorce. Where there's no vision for financial freedom, people end up in debt. We live in the wealthiest country on planet Earth, but yet we are the most debt-ridden people alive. And it's because we don't have a clear vision for our finances. Now, I don't like to talk about this next one because it's such a struggle in my life, but where there is no vision for a healthy body, our body sort of perishes, doesn't it? You know, we can desire to have a 6-pack tummy, but end up needing a tummy tuck instead, right? You know, I'll just be honest. If I were rich, if I had excess money, I would eat all I want and I would just go have lipo all the time. You know? But isn't it true? I'm just being honest. Where there is no vision for a healthy body, our body kind of perishes, doesn't it? You see, church, where there is no vision, people just kind of wander through life. They kind of stumble around without preparation, without passion, and without a plan. Now, I think that we can all relate to this to some degree because of how crazy and how busy that our life is. Because sometimes, you know, our goal is just to get through the week. You know, I've had weeks like that. Sometimes our goal is to get through the week and just get the bills paid. Sometimes our goal is just to survive this marriage that we find ourselves in for the sake of our kids. And for some parents, this happened for my parents, you know, one of their goals was just hoping to keep one of their kids out of jail. You know, to get them standing on their own 2 feet. You know, to get them to start living like a responsible adult. You see, in the crazy, crazy world we live in, we get so consumed with the tyranny of the immediate and the urgent that the idea of a vision, the idea that we would consider that God, hey, He's got this vision